Hey guys, what's up? RossDunneIE. So, the Black Lives Matter hashtag and to an extension, the Mizzou hashtag. A lot of people on those hashtags have really been showing their how they really feel over the last couple of days since the Paris attacks. And I'd actually like to go back to my previous video when I mentioned the attacks in Africa and expressed genuine sympathy. I don't want to take away the sympathy that I expressed for that, but I, like many people, didn't actually realize that news media that circled at the time was from April the 3rd. And it was circled just to make sure that people didn't focus too much on France, and to try and take something away from what happened in France. That's how I see this, by the way. You're not raising awareness of multiple atrocities. That's not what you're doing, and you know that's not what you're doing. You're not also joining in an act of sympathy with everyone else when you point things like that out. That's not what you're doing. What you're doing is pissing and whinging about a perceived double standard and taking a tragedy and using it for your own political ends. And hashtag Mizzou and hashtag Black Lives Matter in particular are getting a really unpleasant education on how the mainstream media treats hashtag activism and world events in general, in the sense that the minute something that the media perceives as more important comes along, that's it. Your cause isn't over, but how much it appears on people's screens is likely to immediately diminish. And to the people who were using the Mizzou hashtag, and to a lesser extent the Black Lives Matter hashtag, screaming, fuck France, what we are having happen right here now is equally important. You're a piece of shit. You're an absolute piece of shit. Yes, your issues are important, but throwing a temper tantrum and screaming racial epithets about white people isn't going to help your cause. And it just makes you seem like a crybaby motherfucker. You don't hurt your cause, though, because your cause is more important than you. I think the Black Lives Matter hashtag is more important than the actions of a few assholes within the hashtag, and the Mizzou issue is obviously important. But if you started behaving like that, you're an asshole. And you just stand for assholery. But yeah, I mean, this is an update, I suppose, for Black Lives Matter. It happened with Occupy. It happened to Anonymous with Scientology. Is internet hashtag activism is only as interesting as it needs to be until something more interesting comes along, until something better comes along. That really is the reality of a lot of sort of activism movements. And the way internet news gets treated sort of falls off the radar the minute the real world sort of bursts in. And in fairness, I'm going to remain objective here now and say that 150 or nearly 150 people dying in violent bloodshed in France is more important than shit swastikas on a toilet and verbal harassment. Don't ever try and tell me that verbal harassment is on par with being violently murdered. It's not. Don't ever think that it is. Ever. And don't try and make the argument that it is. But as I said, at this point, I'm not going to take that road that other people are taking and try and diminish one cause over another because the cause that I support or what have you currently takes precedent. Black lives do matter. And the hashtag Black Lives Matter is an important hashtag, and it's a very good hashtag in a lot of respects. But some people who use it need to sort of educate themselves on what actually happens in the media when world events come and go, and how people's attention flicks back and forth. And if the attention gets drawn away from you, it doesn't mean that you throw a really shitty fucking temper tantrum and start behaving like a dickhead child. Or at least you shouldn't. I mean, you can, but in that regard, all you do is just show yourself to be a piece of shit. So there you go. Anyway, that's kind of all I have to say about that. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I'm Ross Dunn. See you later.